Lillian was always the kind of girl who embraced change like an old friend. Ever since she turned 16, her hair had been a canvas for her curiosity. From warm honey blondes to candy floss pink, she'd experimented with colors, cuts, and styles. Her natural hair, rich, curly, dark brown, was beautiful on its own. But Lillian had a thirst for self-expression. She already had a small, elegant tattoo on her forearm, a delicate crescent moon surrounded by stars. Her parents weren't thrilled when she got it, but they knew Lillian. Once she set her mind on something, there was no turning back. Now, at 19, Lillian was feeling that familiar itch again. She sat on her bed, running her fingers through her thick curls, and stared at herself in the mirror. Her natural color had grown back fully after months of letting it rest. But the idea of change lingered like a spark waiting to ignite. She stood up, walked over to her cluttered desk, and opened her laptop, the glow of the screen reflecting in her eyes. Red, copper, orange. She didn't know exactly which shade yet, but she could feel the color in her mind. Something warm, fiery, and bold. Something that matched her restless energy. She picked up her phone and started scrolling through Instagram and Pinterest, searching for pictures that matched the vision in her head. Deep auburn waves, shimmering copper coils, glowing orange highlights. Her screen filled with shades that danced between flame and sunset. She saved dozens of pictures, creating a mood board full of vibrant hues. The more she looked, the more she imagined herself with that vibrant hair, walking into the sunlight with a new glow. That evening, as her boyfriend Leo came over, she greeted him with a mischievous smile. Her fingers twirled a lock of hair absent-mindedly as she sat cross-legged on the couch. "Hey, babe," she said, curling up beside him, her phone in hand. "I've been thinking." Leo grinned, already knowing what that meant. "Uh-oh, should I be worried?" She giggled. "Maybe I want to dye my hair again." He leaned over and took the phone from her hand, scrolling through the images. "Red, huh? Like copper?" "Yeah. Or orange, maybe somewhere in between." She bit her lip. "What do you think?" He studied the pictures. "I think you could pull off any of these, but you sure you're done with the natural look already?" Lillian shrugged. "I don't know. I miss the excitement. It's like every time I look in the mirror, I want something new." Leo kissed her temple. "Then let's go for it, as long as you're happy." The next day, Lillian booked an appointment with her regular salon. She had been going there for years, and the stylist knew her by name. When she walked in with a handful of screenshots and that familiar gleam in her eyes, the receptionist smiled knowingly. "Lillian, what's it going to be this time?" She laughed. "Copper, maybe a red-orange tone, something vivid." She was led to the chair, and a stylist named Camilla approached with a warm smile. "Let's see what you've got." Lillian showed her the pictures, and Camilla nodded slowly. "Okay, so you're looking for something bold, warm, and bright. With your dark hair, we'll need to lighten it first. Not bleach it all the way, but just enough to get the vibrancy." Lillian nodded, although a tiny voice in her head whispered uncertainty. "Will it look okay with my skin tone?" Camilla smiled. "It'll pop, for sure. You have the warmth to carry it, but it'll be a big change." She hesitated, then nodded. "Let's do it." The process began with Camilla brushing out Lillian's thick curls. She sectioned the hair into neat parts and began applying a lightener at the roots and lengths, coating the strands with careful precision. The smell of chemicals filled the air, a familiar scent that reminded Lillian of past transformations. Camilla wrapped each section in foil, letting the lightener do its work. The salon buzzed with chatter and the low hum of hairdryers, but Lillian remained in her own little world, staring at her reflection and trying to picture the end result. As Lillian sat under the heater, her reflection caught her off guard. The foils made her look alien, and she suddenly wondered if this was a mistake. Her heart beat a little faster as she imagined what the result might be. A dozen scenarios played out in her mind, some good, some disastrous. But she forced herself to stay calm. An hour later, the foils came out, and her hair was a light, brassy orange. Not attractive on its own, but only a transition phase. Camilla mixed the dye next, a glowing copper-red tone with undertones of orange flame. It looked beautiful in the bowl. Rich, lively. A color that seemed alive, like fire caught in cream. Camilla applied the dye from roots to ends, massaging it into every strand. Lillian's scalp tingled slightly from the chemicals, but she stayed quiet, watching the transformation unfold. She had done this before. She trusted the process, mostly. But doubt lingered. When it was time to rinse, the water ran bright red, swirling down the drain like liquid fire. Camilla wrapped her hair in a towel and led her back to the chair. Blow-drying began, the strands slowly revealing their new shade. The hairdryer roared, and Camilla shaped her curls with a diffuser, trying to bring life and bounce back into them. The curls were looser now, slightly more fragile. And then, it was done. Lillian blinked at her reflection. It was red, coppery, orange in some places, just like she had asked. But something felt off. Her skin tone clashed subtly. Her eyebrows looked harsh against the brightness. Her curls didn't fall the same way. They looked slightly frizzed, less bouncy. Her eyes, usually sparkling with color, looked dull beside the vibrant hue. She forced a smile. It's... wow. Camilla beamed. You're not loving it, are you? Lillian's smile faltered. It's just... different. Camilla nodded understandingly. It takes time. Give it a few days. Lillian paid and left, but as she walked home, she felt tears prickling at her eyes. She didn't feel like herself. The color made her look harsh, unfamiliar. It was all wrong. She passed by a window and caught her reflection again. Her steps slowed. This wasn't who she wanted to be. The bounce in her step had disappeared. Her heart felt heavy. At home, she stepped inside, dropped her bag, and walked straight to Leo. He took one look at her and paused. You did it, he said, trying to sound cheerful. She nodded, tears welling up. I hate it. Leo's face softened. Come here. She sat on the couch beside him, her eyes brimming. It doesn't suit me. I don't know what I was thinking. He ran his hand through her curls gently. It's not terrible, but it's not you. I ruined my hair, she whispered. It's frizzy and fried and just... ugh. He was quiet for a moment. Okay, he said finally. Then maybe it's time for a real change. Lillian looked up at him. What do you mean? Leo stood and walked to the bathroom. He came back holding a black barber cape and an electric clipper. Everything off. Her heart stopped. What? Let's shave it. Start fresh, clean slate, no more dye, no more damage, just you. She stared at him, stunned. The idea was terrifying, but also freeing. Are you serious? He nodded. Only if you want to, but I think it could be beautiful. Tears rolled down her cheeks again, but this time they came with a strange sense of peace. She nodded slowly. Okay, she whispered. Do it. Leo wrapped the black cape around her and fastened it snugly at the neck. The heavy fabric settled on her shoulders. She sat on the chair, facing the mirror. Her copper curls glinted in the light, the dye already dulling at the roots. Her hands gripped the armrests. Leo turned on the clippers. A low, vibrating hum filled the room. Lillian shut her eyes. Start at the back, she said, her voice barely audible. Leo placed his hand gently on her head, tilted it forward, and pressed the clippers to the nape of her neck. The first pass was surreal, her thick curls falling in heavy chunks to the cape. The machine buzzed smoothly across her scalp, and with every pass, more of her hair disappeared. Hair gathered on the cape, around her feet, a vivid reminder of the past she was leaving behind. She could feel the air touch her scalp for the first time. She opened her eyes as he moved to the sides, revealing bare skin beneath the fading copper. Tears streamed down her cheeks, but she didn't stop him. She watched as the last of her dyed curls fell, leaving only soft, dark stubble behind, Her head was oddly shaped, delicate, with elegant curves she'd never noticed before. Her neck looked longer, her face more defined. Leo worked methodically, going over her head again with a closer guard, then again with no guard at all. Finally, he applied warm shaving cream and used a razor to make her scalp smooth and clean. He moved gently, carefully, as if handling something sacred. He wiped her head clean with a warm cloth when he finished, removing every last trace of foam and hair. The cape was heavy with lost hair. The girl in the mirror looked like a stranger. Leo stepped back, proud of his work. "You look amazing." Lillian touched her bare scalp, feeling the smoothness, the warmth. The sensation was strange, almost electric. She rubbed her head slowly, getting used to the feeling of skin instead of curls. It was strange, but it was her. A fresh start. "No more dye," she whispered. "No more crazy things." Leo smiled. "Just you.